Hello everybody, Darren here, and welcome back to episode 21 in my second Let's Play series for Anno 1800. In the last episode, we extended our campus grounds and welcomed hundreds of new scholars into Swords. We also began building the palace botanical gardens and reached 10,000 investors, allowing us to run our most extravagant World's Fair even possible. We did all of this by kind of manually moving things around though, so now we really need to set up the supply chains to actually make it self-sufficient. Now, in between episodes, I've been a busy bee. I've paved the entire botanical gardens sort of area, meticulously by hand, placing every single tile myself. It's taken hours. Now, I'm only joking. Of course, it took a few seconds, and I've also added in these extra modules here just to make the place feel a little bit more alive, a little bit more like it's under construction and ready for expansion. Speaking of construction, I've also got our little trade union here. The foreman has decided to cordon off this entire area, as of course we're waiting on our population growth to allow us to extend the palace wings with extra modules and link them up for a kind of a solidified enclosed palace grounds. And then also we're going to have 6 new scholar houses here mirroring this side over there, but we can't do that until we get a campus extension permit. Now those things both take a lot of time. So, it makes a lot of sense just to have a nice kind of construction site instead of having a giant blue holographic blueprints just sitting there or having nothing at all. So, I really like a living and breathing sort of construction site. We've done that before previously in the series, and I just like the idea, so I decided to put that down in between episodes. I've also expanded out our engineers. There are now 30 new residences for the engineers. So this block here, and these 2 here, which has given us a huge boon to our engineer workforce, but of course they are now rapidly declining because we're eating too much canned food and there's not enough coffee. But every time we make a delivery, it's going to come back up. So we're going to have to be spending this episode figuring out what we're going to need to raise the supply for everyone. We're going to be using docklands a lot, but also increasing supply chains directly for things such as rum. We then, of course, want that workforce to help supply the investors, which we have enough houses to actually have 10,000, and we don't really need more than 10,000 for anything. We could do with having more engineers in the future to help speed up the research of different items. Currently, we're researching a controllable pitch propeller, which is equipped in steamships, 15% movement speed, negative 50% cargo slowdown. I'd say about 10 or 15 minutes have passed in-game between episodes, so that's almost done in just a few minutes. And we'll probably equip it on the oh god, what's it called? The reefer that travels between sessions just for the scholars, the multi-regional reefer. As a few, actually just one person I believe, pointed out, we should call it the scholarship because it delivers things just for scholars. It's a genius name. So we'll definitely be doing that. Actually, speaking of research, I just noticed that we're actually full up for research points right now. So we might as well just quickly do some extra research. Invest 2,300 points each time now, increasing by 100 every single time. Into maritime technology is what I want to get first. And you can just see that we're just spending all those points and they're just rapidly increasing now each time. And we're done. We've done it. We've done all maritime stuff. So that means any item that affects a harbor master's office and ships, we can now make. So there you go. Next will be industrial technologies, I guess. And we'll just keep, I know it's a bit maybe repetitive for you guys. We'll just keep doing this until we're kind of out of points, and then we don't really have to come back to it for a long time. Alright, that's it. Alright, we'll leave that as it is. So the reason I expanded the engineers in between episodes was just to, prevent you having to watch me upgrading farmers into workers and then move them over here, artisans into engineers, and so on and so forth. So that's all that happened, nothing too crazy. I just rapidly put those houses down. You can see our workforce is actually declining because I haven't yet caught up to what they actually need. So that's what we're going to be doing in this episode. So we're going to be focused out here in Lusk for a large part of it. Of course, in the last episode, we built out all of these brick factories. So we've got a decent supply of bricks here. They're actually being shipped off back to Swords, which is now at 1,900. So we've been spamming out the construction materials. So we could probably reduce this down a little bit more in future, but for now, we'll just leave it. It's fine. Those extra bricks here, though, what we're going to use them for is adding extra exports offices, which gives us a new contract each. So a new contract slot. And we need that because what we're going to need is tailored suits for our scholars. And to get tailored suits, we need both linen and cotton fabric. To get cotton fabric, we need 20 active contracts, and we've got 17. So we've got enough now to add in some dummy contracts. Just like this. there, and there. And that activates, you know, it thinks basically, oh yeah, cool, 20, you've got 20. Now we can just delete them. Bit of a weird system. I gotta say, this one, not to be harsh, does feel a little less thought out. Some people often jump to its defense and say, well, you know, it's thought of with the high life in mind and the tourism stuff in mind, but I'm of the mindset that DLC should be standalone and work just as well on their own. If you want to do a big expansion, that's fine, but if you're going to have 3 separate DLCs, there are some people that may end up just getting one, so each one should kind of work on its own. And it does work, but as many people point out, it destabilizes a lot of stuff in the game. I don't want to abuse it, I just want to use it a little bit, so I want to try and get the best out of it. I'm specializing in gold, soap, and steel is mostly what I want to be specializing in, and then I don't want to really mess with it any more than that. And that way I feel like I'll get the most enjoyment out of it, with a little bit of self-discipline. But it depends on your playstyle. I'm sure some people get a huge rise out of basically figuring out how to game it as hard as they can. Anyways, so there's the cotton fabric. Let's just add another steel thing down here, because I actually think we have enough. And now we have to check exactly how much we're going to need. So real quickly, we have the steel building over here, or sorry, the tailored suits building there. No cotton right now. So what we have to do, we know that we only really have the need on swords, and we'll toggle on Lusk as well, our production island. We'll scroll down in consumer goods to tailored suits. So there it is. Our current potential is 5 out of 5. Our current potential for supply is 0 out of 2. So basically we need 3. We've got 1 building. This is where it would be up to. We'll probably need 3 buildings, considering we're going to get even more scholars later down the line. So that is quite a lot, actually. So we'll just get another one here. Let's just check really quickly where the power is going. It kind of ends around here, so it probably doesn't go further in. All these scholar buildings could probably do with their own trade union eventually as well. Anyway, so that's going to give us 3 suits buildings. Okay. By the way, layouts of these things are a little bit temporary. I want to divide them up into groups. We can probably get rid of a lot of the wood now. People pointed out, actually, that I glanced over where wood was several times, so you can actually import it. Both the raw material, which is needed for some things, I guess, and also the planks, which is needed for construction. So probably we'll be importing that instead in future. But anyway, so now we can see what's actually in demand, right? So agricultural products, intermediates, sorry. Intermediate, we need 6 tons of fabric and 6 tons of linen. And then we'll just do a little bit of math again. So that's 120, right? It's times 20. So 6 times 20, I think, is 120. So we'll list this as just 140 just to be safe. Some people did point out, actually, you can go into the statistics and actually kind of judge the amount of time he'll take to get to your port based on the passive trade that happens. But it's all good. I like just adding like about 20 to give or take a little bit of extra room. But if you want to be very specific, you can actually judge the time. So normally the number would be 120, right? 120, 6 by 20 is 120. The reason we add a little bit more is because it takes some time to actually get to your port, do the deal, and then leave. So that's why you do that. But yeah, this should be fine. So 140 and 140, that should be enough anyway. So in the next delivery, let's have a look at what else we're going to need then. So that's that. We're going to need more leather boots. So we have a leather boot building. Where is it? It's right in front of us. I don't know how I didn't see that. Alright, so that's the leather boot building right here, yeah? Yeah.
Welcome to the...
So we're going to need another one of those, no doubt. I'll have to check how many. It's got power, so that's good. And this just requires sanga meat. So let's check the consumer goods again. Swords, consumer goods. So we need 4 tons at the moment. So just 4 tons. So a little bit less than the tailored suits. I don't know why that's so crazy. And bowler hats a little bit less as well. Nice, we got that. We got the propeller.
With commendable equanimity.
He's loving it. So we completed the quest as well to craft our own item. So we're going to turn on Lusk. Production-wise, we are at almost making 6 tons if the building was active, based on the 2 buildings that we've got down right now. So that will be fine if we just get them up and running. But that means that there's a stress for the sanga meat, right? So agricultural products, sanga meat is up to 4 now. Will be for demand when the buildings get up and running. So 4 times 20 is 80. Maybe we could say 100. We've already been bringing in 200 for I don't know why, but let's just say 100. I can't remember why I would have done that. Hope I'm not doing my math wrong now. I'm pretty sure I have it accurate. Just to be safe, I'm even safer. I'm gonna bring in just a little bit more. A little bit more. This is probably like way more than we'll ever need again as well. So maybe now just... Oh no, it isn't actually. 1,000 is correct for the amount of brick factories we have. We'll probably reduce them soon. Okay, so that is tailored suits, leather boots, bombins. I believe hibiscus tea, seafood stew, and tapestries are set, but we never set a reserve in Tabarine, which means that we've probably taken everything from them. Almost. Yeah, we've taken all their seafood stew away. They're not going to be happy about that. So let's set a reserve of 100, which means it's going to be a while before, you know, that builds up to 100 safe stockpile and we actually get it in the old world. Hibiscus tea has a limit. Tapestries do not, so let's set a limit there. And what was the other one? Unfortunately, my short-term memory has failed me yet again. What else do we need? Oh, hibiscus tea, that's what it was. So hibiscus tea, tapestries, and seafood stew. So yeah, I think that's all like has a reserve now. Now let me just check on that seafood stew and see what's going on there.
Only the Lord can create. No idling around.
There they are. They're doing their thing. They're just being taken away from them. Lots of... we could actually just increase the production if we really wanted to. We've got plenty of elders. We've got plenty of teff grass and chilies. We could just get another teff mill and then 2 more of these if we wanted to. We have the workforce for it, but I don't think we need to. And I kind of want to stay just focused in one region. So hopefully this is all good. I think it should be. And we'll come back later. Alrighty. So what's next on the agenda? I've increased the export contracts. Oh yeah, the scholarship building. Of course, it just finished, didn't it? So let's check that out. There we go. The controllable pitch propeller. Collect the item. So now what we're going to do is do another major discovery. Campus extension. Boom.
We will obtain a new campus permit.
And we can add more engineers to researching it to speed it up. So we just shaved 3 minutes off of it by adding 1,400 engineers to the project. So now we have to actually configure what we've already got. So canned goods would have been one of the first ones for all these engineers. And that's also for the... That's a complicated one because it's also for the scholars, right? So that's the next thing to fix and figure out. Again, I think it's just done through the Docklands. Back in Lusk, we bring in canned goods. So I'll just check that now. So swords, Lusk, and I believe the Arctic also takes it. I think it's Hopefell and King William Island, if I'm not mistaken. So that's a total of 5 tons demand per minute. Obviously, we wait 20 minutes. That means it's 100. So let's try to bring in 120. So there it is there. So yeah, 120, please. And that comes into this place, which actually takes a while to even get delivered around. So I'm going to increase it even further to 140. And I think eventually that should be okay. We'll keep an eye on it. See if we start to... So my goal is to kind of eliminate any fluctuations of this number here, which is currently like up and down all over the place. Because you want to have a stable supply, means a stable population. Oh, and actually, while we're waiting now... Well, let me just check on one of the things. So that's done. These will be done. These should all be done. Rum would be the next one. Yeah, rum. So that's going to focus... That's going to be us in the new world. I think it's more fun to try and build rum. We could probably just get some in. Let's see what's the... You could always just get the extra we need in. Let's see what the requirements are for that. It's 1.4. We've already unlocked it. It could be done. It's probably a pretty hefty thing. See, 1.4 means that you're trading a lot away to get it. It's not a good deal, I guess. Alright, we haven't been to the New World in quite a while. So all of rum production is set up on this island here, Marbella. And it's basically over here. Things are having trouble loading in.
What brings you here, Governor?
So let me just check the situation on rum production.
You have it.
Yeah, actually, that's the first thing I should do. So you want to check how much are you producing versus how much are you consuming. So I'm just going to turn on all the New World because they do consume some rum. Swords is the only island I think that's going to be consuming rum that we want to bring it to. I don't think any of these do. So let's just check. I feel like I'm probably forgetting something. Man, did I just skip it? There it is. I don't know why I couldn't see it. So demand is 20 tons per minute. We're currently producing 17. Okay, so we do need a little bit more then. Alrighty, so I have room for extra distilleries already pre-planned. That's pretty good, actually. Let's see then what was the deal with the agricultural product itself. We're vastly overproducing sugarcane. Oh, awesome. So all we have to do really is just sit here and upgrade these buildings. So I believe it's every one of these takes 2 of these. Let's double check that. Oh, we don't even need the sugarcane. Sorry. I thought sugar's for the chocolate, actually. So we actually don't need that at all. This is just straight up wood and sugarcane that gets turned into this. So I've just built 2 extra distilleries. Those 2 extra distilleries should bring us up to 22, and if you remember, demand was 20. So that should be enough as long as we don't run out of wood.
Bring some first.
And sugarcane, obviously. We shouldn't, I don't think. Agricultural products we have... Oh, so it's a raw material. Sorry, there it is. Yeah, so wood is really quite low. The demand is 30 with our extra buildings, I guess. I don't know if I'm, like, delivering some. I wouldn't have thought so. I don't think so. You can just get it from Docklands. That'd be a really nice way to save space. Like, just get a massive shipment of wood and have a ship bring it around to all the places that need it. That'd actually be a pretty good idea, I think. Captain Khadija. Movement speed 20% in ships. But for now, because we've got so much space in this island, I think it's totally reasonable to just be like, yeah, we're just going to build like actual wood producing buildings. I'm just trying to think where we should pop it. I mean, there's a lot of space out here, so maybe it's just somewhere out here. Did I ever build that road? Oh, this is a weird area, actually. I don't know if I did this right, because that can't be built out there. Oh, no, it can if I get rid of the palm trees. Yeah. Or you can just extend it out from some other angle. Yeah, okay, I'll make a choice. God damn, I'm so indecisive. I'll do it here. 1... Just have them like kind of equal to each other, I suppose. Don't like that it's on one side, but I don't know what I can do about that other than feed a road around it. So that brings us up to 23. I wonder, does that count now? Because the planting hasn't finished yet. Let me just test it. It said 23, so I'm just going to test it by putting one of these down, not hooking it up. Just like that. It's still 23, so you have to wait for the planting to be done to actually see the effect. So I think the fact that they make one every 15 seconds, that's 4 tons per minute. So each one adds 4. 4, 8, 12, 16. So with 16 on top of this, yeah, definitely enough. Okay, so that means that's done. That should be enough rum that's coming back to everyone now. As long as the ships can take it. That's the last thing to check. So New World to Old World rum. We've got 3 ships doing it. And it can fill up to 300 because we have the storage. That's good to see. Yeah, then I think it should be fine. If these ships have space on them, which they do, that means we can fill it up even further. We could set the thing where it's like wait to load. I often get confused with that. I don't know if it's a good idea or not. Because it's like, oh, this ship is only carrying like, you know, 40 rum. Is that a good idea? It's probably not a good idea. This one's only carrying 20. I'd have to check where it's at in its journey, I suppose, to really deduce. I mean, yeah, if it's traveling in between regions with barely any rum on it, that's not good. Not too sure where it is, to be honest. Yeah, I don't know. It brought me here, but it might be in that pile of 2 that are just arriving right now. Let's see. It's good to identify it. So on trade route. There it is. So this is just arriving into the old world for the first time. And it's got barely any rum on it. See, I don't really know how that happened. The only way I could assume that happened is that it was in the New World. It picked up rum pretty much at the same time that its sister ship did, let's say. And because it was carrying less, it overtook it and is getting there faster than it. That's what I would assume is happening. Because often you'll see ships just coming up to places like that together.
I have this nagging feeling you're a jellyfish.
So if I told it to wait to load, wait to unload, surely wait to load. Yeah, wait for goods. If I told it to wait for goods, a ship is going to be occupying a port for a very long time, and potentially 3 ships would be if they're all waiting. So that's where you can get this big backlog, and you'll basically need a pier, like 3 different piers. So I've got one there. We could get another one here. Another one here. I'm ruining the lovely coastline. But that's basically 3 dedicated spots for the 3 ships I know can possibly be waiting all at the same time. But now what's going to happen is they're not going to leave until they're full, which I guess is good. And what's the storage capacity here? 550? So hopefully I've got that clear in my head. I mean, I think it makes sense. You guys can let me know if you think I'm wrong. But I think that makes sense. Alright, so one other thing I wanted to do was look at a ship that's on the trade route moving between sessions. The multi-regional ship, this one. So it's in Mbesa right now. I want to give it that propeller. I could maybe make the journey just manually by loading it up on a airship. Because I think the timing is just a bit too finicky to wait for it to come around. So, when I get the notice that that ship has arrived, I have a feeling that the ship in Mbesa will be just about getting to the edge of the map, I think, if I've timed that correctly. At least we have the notice on, so it means we should see it.
Only I'm reporting in.
The Scholar Materials. Yeah, so we can name this now the Scholarship. Love it. And you can see that they're actually waiting now because we don't have a second pier. Maybe we should get a second pier out here, thinking about it. You know what? Having a pier here might not be too crazy, would it? Yeah, I think that looks fine. I wonder, do I block that or do I leave the little sand area where you can like... Again, I've forgotten the word for it. It's not a jetty, but it's like, yeah, where you push off to go into the water. I can't believe I've forgotten the word again. I think it is nice just to leave it. Because you can kind of roleplay that. Yeah, people do use that to kind of like... move off. I don't know the word.
New orders.
Good. They're picking everything up. Clay pipes is an interesting one. I guess that's for future. Let me set the reserve on that as well. Because I don't think they consume clay pipes yet, but I must have added it to the route as a just in case. Oh, the 2 reefers are here, the 420 and the Scholarship. And that's got the jet propeller Hurricane, the legendary item that we made from Old Nate. Cool. Oh yeah, there's the airship, the Daedalus. So it should start moving pretty soon. And it should be fairly quick to get down there. I'm hoping it gets down there right as the other ship is leaving. Alright, anyways, so... so all of that's kind of sorted now, right? We've actually sorted quite a lot. So basically, just as a mini recap mid-episode, I think everything is now added up so that we've sorted... I guess... Yeah, actually, yeah. Hibiscus tea, bowler hats, tapestries, rum, leather boots... seafood stew, tailored suits, and canned goods. That's all set now for everybody. But what's not set anymore is things like sewing machines, fur coats, glasses, coffee especially. Things that the engineers are going to need. So that's kind of what we're moving to now. Just bear with me just 1 second. I just need to pause it just for a second.
Alrighty, I am back. Sorry about that. I just had to turn on the light essentially because the sun is setting and then I decided to take a bathroom break. Alright, so... oh my days. We're down to... oh god. We're down to just 22? Oh yeah. Because I threw them into the research institute. I was like, what? We lost 1,000? How badly are the demands? What's the deal with you guys? You're not consuming champagne? Oh, steam carriage is low for them as well. So yeah, so let's just start going through it. I mean, it has to be done. We have to go through each and every bit of supply. I don't plan on adding any more houses for a while, so at least there's that. So yeah, so we know that canned goods should be fine. So let's just quickly check sewing machines would be next. The tricky thing, I think, with navigating this menu now is we do have a lot of islands, but also a lot of different people consume a lot of different things. I can't quite remember everyone who consumes things. It would almost be nice if it told you, like, if you click this and maybe it... Oh, it does. Does it actually? Production or production over time? I kind of want to check consumption, not production. Population, maybe? I don't know. I don't want to just navigate that in this episode. That'd be frustrating for people to watch. But essentially, it'd be nice to know. It's like, oh, you know, like the New World, some people, residences in the New World consume these, as well as people in the Old World and something else. I guess I should just know these things. Anyways, so at Lusk, I believe, is where we produce them. We're producing 12 per minute, which is more than is consumed on swords, but we do bring it to the New World, so some of these islands must have some. Okay, so 10. Trying to think... Let's just turn on all the Old World islands. So the question is, are they consumed by the New World, like, or the Arctic? I don't think so. And what about Mbessa? Do they consume them? No. Okay, so those ones are fine. Fur coats. Fur coats, I think, is a bit more simple, so let's just check that really quickly. It's a bit of a wonder why I'm producing so much, actually, but yeah. Fur coats, 12 is coming in, 8's going out. Again, it's probably used somewhere else that I'm just not 100% sure. I doubt the New World's consuming fur coats, but maybe the Arctic? That would kind of make sense, right? No, so we're producing more than we need there as well. Great. Next is university, then glasses. Glasses consumed by Mbessa and here. So glasses then. Glasses. So glasses is here. I'm just trying to turn on Lusk. A good way of actually testing it and checking it really quickly is also finding the trade route. So we're sending it to Mbessa, and we're just moving it around the old world. So that's the only two places that I know I'm sending it to. So that's actually a really handy way of doing it. Just typing in the good there, and we can see both trade routes that are dealing with it. So yeah, so we just have to turn on the Mbessa Islands, and then turn on our own one. So pretty nice. So glasses consumption, where are we? There we are. So the market demand is 5 and we're only producing 4. So we definitely need more for that. And then that's going to have a big knock-on effect of what we're going to need for the raw materials. So we'll just focus that next. I know there's a lot of menu hopping, but hopefully you don't mind too much. Also, let's just fix the Research Institute so it's not consuming too much. There we go. Free up that workforce just a little bit. Okay.
Your ship has returned from its voyage.
The data list is there, so now we have to quickly... Oh, I forgot. They've updated it, so this thing now... doesn't notify you until it gets to the port that it was supposed to arrive at. Crap. I've lost the ship, so now we have to catch it again. Let's see where it is. There it is. It is moving actually quite fast. Now we just have to go back to where it was. God damn it. It was all for nothing. It's good to see it's fast, though. Alright, back to the old world, I guess. Chase that ship down. Very ominous music back there. I don't know if I mentioned it in this episode, but that little extension I've done there, that's just temporary. I'm going to be building out this way in future. Just when I dedicate, you know, a bit more time to actually figuring out a design that I like and then building it. So, extra glasses. Let's see what we can do. Engineers, glasses, spectacles. So, brass and glass. And we've got 3 spectacle factories here. And then what are we out of? Grapes? You're out of grapes.
Always harder with someone
It must have just been delivered or something, because we got 80 on the island. Yeah, they're on their way now. It might be time soon to start really cleaning this place up a bit, you know, it's getting a bit messy. Let's just do that, and let's add these in here. So I'm going to check the demands now on brass and glass and see what the deal is. Glass, I believe we're bringing in through the Docklands, but brass, I think we're just making. Intermediate, isn't it? Yes. So we are producing 10 tons per minute, and we're now going to be consuming just under 9 when all is said and done, so that's totally fine. So now the glass demand is up to 25 in total. So I need to break out a little calculator for that. Calculator, 25 times 20 is 500. So 500 glass is what this place is using right now. And we're actually bringing in 500, but we'll set that to be 520 just for that extra bit of time. It's going to start eroding our gold a little bit. So it's pretty fun, pretty cool. Got it all sorted, so that should be the extra glasses done. As long as our trade routes are managing everything all right. We see how much, look at how much buildings we've actually managed to save because of docklands. Like, all of this production is paused. All paused. All of these guys are paused. Canned goods is all completely paused, which saves on iron, you know. So this is why it needs a redesign, because some of these trade unions are kind of redundant because they were initially built with certain things in mind. And these locations were certainly built largely with the type of workforce in mind. And now I want to kind of specialize them in actual... I want to specialize them more for a product rather than for a workforce, because I think that's more useful for docklands than to be like, hey, you make a bunch of light bulbs, maybe you can sell some. Okay, so let's see what's next on the list. Coffee. Oh yeah, coffee's a big one. We're going to be on that one for a while, so let's get to it now, I suppose. So, I might as well take the time now to also talk about my PC woes. I didn't address it yet so far. Essentially, if for people who saw it, I posted to the community tab of YouTube. It's, you know, I mean, not many people see stuff on there unless you add a poll. If you add a poll, loads of people see it. It's a bit weird. It's a shame you can't just, you know, actually hit the people that would see your videos, but that's just the way it is. I also tweeted about it. Essentially, my PC was malfunctioning. I'm not going to be able to talk about this and play the game at the same time. It's too difficult. So I'm just going to try to talk about it really quickly. Essentially, my PC was malfunctioning. Let's have a little zoom in here. It was malfunctioning. That's why there was no episode. I tweeted it was on April 1st, and I let people know in the community tab, like, oh, you know, my PC's not working. There's not going to be an episode. People are like, ha, good joke. It's like, I wouldn't do that. That's not a fun April Fool's, in my opinion. But yeah, so essentially, I'm not a big hardware guy, but it turns out that my cooler inside my CPU, I didn't even know my PC was water cooled. That's how bad I am, and I've had this PC for 5 years.
From its voyage.
Anyway, it turns out we have an all-in-one cooler. It's like this giant, like, black cooler that sits on top of your PC, and then two pipes that come out that feed water to your CPU, obviously to the edge of it, through a heatsink to keep it cool, and then it kind of fans blow in and keep everything cool, and cools the water down. The water kind of rushes around. That's the idea of the cooler. It's a very simple cooling system. It's not like a complicated water cooler or anything like that. Anyways, long story short, that malfunctioned on me. Not too sure why, because I was sent a GPU from my friend Jackie Fish. He had one that he didn't need anymore, and he just said, hey, do you want it? And it's a GTX 1070 Ti, and I had a GTX 980 Ti. So it's a little bit of an upgrade, not massive, but it is like a generational upgrade, at least one generation. And I thought, you know, if he doesn't want it, can't harm to pop it in. I've dabbled a little bit with changing out some RAM and hard drives and things, and I think I've changed graphics cards a few years ago, but I typically stay away from opening up my PC. I just don't like doing that stuff. Anyways, put in the new GPU, start up the PC, and the cooler is basically screwed, and my CPU's temperature is just like super dramatically high at like 90 degrees or something after literally being on for a minute, just idling, not even using anything. So really, really concerned. I was like, oh my god, you know, my PC is basically dying, and this is a very, very bad time for those who don't know to be trying to get a new PC, because there's a huge demand for components and things like that. So it's really, I was really worried about it. Anyway, my community really rallied together, and so did another YouTuber named Admiral Price. He's a Total War YouTuber, and he said, like, after people identified the issue, they were like, it seems like it's a cooler. Because at first I thought it was a faulty graphics card, you know, getting a new graphics card, and it just coincidentally broke my cooler. I must have done something when I was placing it in that maybe just pushed my cooler over the edge, because it was super old and dusty and everything. And I think
I was granted a stipend to find and study.
I think essentially what probably happened is I turned on my PC on its side for like 10 minutes while I was trying to figure something out once. And I'm guessing that I stressed the motor or the pump on the cooler, and then the cooler broke. I'm guessing that's what happened. Anyway, it doesn't really matter. I guess I'm going way too into detail with this. But essentially, Admiral Price donated to me, and he said, get this cooler. And he basically paid for it, linked it on Amazon, grabbed it, arrived the next day, put in the new cooler, and everything's fine. So graphics card wasn't the issue, obviously. It was the cooler. Everything seems fine now. My temperatures are back to normal. And I've got a new GPU, so things might look a little bit better. Or, well, they should look the same, but be running a little bit better. Just a little bit. And I feel like I am feeling that. Just a slight bit. So that's nice. Anyway, that's a very long-winded way of saying my PC broke for about 2 days, and I thought I was going to be out of action for, you know, weeks. But everyone leapt into action, really helped me out. It was actually really quite unbelievable how nice people were. So yeah, so there's that. So that's the reason that I missed an episode. All right, so I just noticed that we're at our cap again, so we have to start getting some more items. Now we should have a look at some of those items. They actually look pretty cool. Some of those legendary maritime items. Right, so tech development. I'm gonna go with industrial tech just over and over again. Still increasing the cost dramatically each time. Thus lessening the amount we can get in each go as well. Alright, there we go. So, we've gotten 135 items out of 447. That's kind of crazy, you know, for it to increase by 100 every time and we identify 3 items. You could do the math on that, but we've got 300 to go. And it increases 100 each time. So what's that? It's going to be up by another 3,000 points. Yeah, right? I think so. I don't know. That doesn't sound right to me, but it sounds like it'll be even more than that. Anyway, you can do the math on that one. I don't know. I don't want to do it now. Yeah, that seems like that would be really expensive then. It could be up to like... I feel like it would be up to like 10,000 to get another item. Oh yeah, I only did 100. Sorry, yeah. So that is it. So for 300 items, it would be 9,000 extra, plus the 3,000 we have. So we could be paying 12,000 just to get like the next item uncovered. I guess that's not too crazy. It just takes a bit of time. I was worried that it would go above the cap we can even get right now, like over 20,000. Doesn't look like that one. Soon we're going to be getting 5 extra houses. And you might be like, oh god, he has to go through everything again. I think I've largely got enough in stock that these extra 5 houses won't put too much extra demand on, so not too bad. Anyway, let's get back to the rum. Sorry for that long digression, but some people might be interested. I'm not a big hardware guy, like I said, but it's been kind of fun learning about all that and getting it working correctly. So we've actually been lowering the working conditions for coffee, so we can turn that back up. We have plenty of coffee beans. We're actually full up on coffee, so it's not necessarily a production issue, it's a trade issue. It seems to be. So let's just check coffee versus... we don't produce any on Lusk. So swords is where we're going to be drinking all our coffee. And I believe the New World actually consumes coffee too. And I think we actually send it to the Arctic. Could be wrong, yeah. So coffee, there it is. So we're producing 32 tons per minute and we're consuming 26. So we're vastly overproducing. We're just not trading it around effectively. So that's good to see though.
Hold the crane.
Because if we weren't producing enough, then we would have had to make more fields and make more stuff like that. So let's check the trade routes. Coffee. Oh. Let's just close these different tabs. There we go. So New World to Old World, and then coffee. We've got 3 ships on the route at the moment. Pretty full up. Actually looking pretty good the way they're picking some up. This one's just picked up... they're just 50 short, so 250. This one has a full 300, and this one doesn't have anything. It's not there yet. So we have Kenko, Nescafe, and what should this one be called? Coffees. Nespresso? Yes, they're actually both taking a long time to actually load. We have the capacity to take 600, but I guess there's a 50 reserve, which is why it probably didn't take that last 50. It's going to put down another...
A competitor's island is under siege.
Oh man, we are at our limit for storage in this island. I have to destroy the coastline to make it look nicer. That's so annoying. Or to be able to hold more. I guess that's what we got to do. Alright, cool. So I'm going to add another ship to this route. It probably doesn't need it terribly, but I think it might help.
Only now reporting in.
Because if it's after hitting its max stockpile, that's not good, right? So it's not being taken away fast enough. I love all these little ships that they've added since the Docklands update, by the way. It's so cool. Alright, so let's do that then. We'll have to find an idle ship, which I think we've got a few now. Oh my god, you know what I totally forgot to do? And I'm sure you did. I'm sure you all remembered. Was to chase down that goddamn ship that's delivering things multi-regionally. Ah, you see, if it's in between session, I can't really catch it. Okay, it's almost arriving back in, so that's good. Coming in with bowler hats. So we'll just send the Daedalus down to...
Ready for assignment.
I think of how fast it's going to be when it does arrive. We'll send it down to here. And we'll be able to dump it in there. Anyway, that distracted me for a second. So we're adding another ship here. I need to find a ship really quickly that can just go on this route. Rum... Oh, no. Coffee. Add ship. The Carthago. That's currently in Embesa. But that's fine. We'll add it there. Just click accept. Let's just go back into that and then click the ship and then rename it. So what we call this, a fourth coffee company. I'm actually just going to really quickly Google coffee companies because I can't think of them right now. It's the sound of my browser starting up, by the way. So let's see. Coffee brands.
We now have the required permit to expand the campus.
I mean, I've never had this one, but this one, I've heard of it though. Folgers. It's an American brand. I know it because of Dr. Disrespect. He sings their theme tune. Alright.
Hold the crane.
Damn, I like that music. I wish there was a music player in the game. It'd be so nice to just keep the music on in between sessions and stuff. Go through the soundtracks. Our airship is just about to get here. I kind of have to wait for this to actually catch it. And we need to do the Botanical Expedition. That's been sitting in the menu since the last episode, actually. So we'll have to do that right after this. I know it's been maybe a lot of busy work dealing with statistics and trade menus, but I feel like I've actually done quite a lot. You know, we've cleaned up a lot of consumer goods routes and stuff right now. There you go. So that's going to speed this ship up dramatically. I mean, it's only 15% movement speed, but then it's getting rid of that cargo slowdown for when it's really full. So, nice little boost to speed there. And we made the item ourselves, so it feels kind of nice. Alright, before I do the expedition, I want to check. We have the new thing finished, the expansion permit. We can get another expansion permit for another 30 minutes with 4,000 points. Or we could start getting something else. Identify an item you own to learn how to develop it at the Research Institute. Oh, right. I've been saying this, and I've been saying, oh, it's a shame you can't do that by donating. But I didn't know you could actually just spend time to research on any item. Oh, that's interesting. It takes a long time, though. 90 minutes. God damn. What else can we do? Old World Cotton Production, Old World Rum Production, Old World Coffee. So you get a new recipe, and you're able to build these things in the Old World. I don't think I really want that right now. I know a lot of people crave that. Maybe it'd be nice to actually be able to finally relocate the clay deposit that's on this island. That'd be kind of fun. It takes 90 minutes as well. Or we could just keep going with more extension permits. Because ultimately we do need to get to 7,000, I think it is. So yeah, I guess we'll just get this one more time and then I'll maybe see what else we need. So we can boost that just a little bit extra. But anyway, time to extend out here. I have to redo these walls a little bit. Alright, we'll just clean that up, reattach these walls here, so the scholars don't have to look at this horrid area much longer. Alright, cool. And then, what do we have here? Waiting for the materials to arrive. Maybe something like the 2 long pipes actually would look quite nice. Yeah, those things. Just some materials and crates and things like that. There we go. Just a little, you know, denotion of the fact that we're not done yet, and I like now that this is just really showing the area where the palace is going to go. So that's kind of cool. Alright, so that's going to give us an actual big boost to population. In fact, it might give us an extra module. Yeah, we've got 2 more for the palace. Nice. Nice, nice, nice. That's awesome. So these are just going to be regular wings, I think. Nice. Feels good. Oh, I got a Ubisoft badge club thing. And a new DLC achievement. Let's check my achievements. What was that one called? Megapalace. Megapolis. So let's see. It's a DLC one, so Megapalace. Build 40 wings for the palace set. Seat of power. What other things have I not done? Have at least 1 trade union, town hall, and harbor master office within, with 4 item slots equipped at each. Alright, nice. Yeah, for seat of power. So that's getting the different things with seat of power of the different disciplines. So you can say, like, I want the trade unions to have a 4th slot, and you have to do it for each one. So that's kind of interesting. Export 50,000 tons of anyone good for Dockland, so we'll get that eventually. Reach a population of 25,000 scholars. Jesus. I don't know if I'll do that. I'm at 2,600 right now. That's a lot of scholars. Alright, there we go. Palace is extending. I love it. And that means our palace gets greater reach. That's the reason you extend it. You get further coverage on the island. We cover pretty much the entire island now. Because our palace is like all the way down on one corner of it. And the fact that from one corner, it basically, or one side I should say, if it was in the center it would have total full coverage, but yeah. So it's not quite reaching all the investors yet, but that's just based on the road layout that we've gone for here, so.
How thrilling.
We'll get it to link up later. Alright, let's do that expedition. People are joking about the fact that it's a botanical expedition to the Arctic. I guess you could maybe make the case that they're like, I don't know, digging through the ice for, I don't know, old, rare plants, I don't know. Sails frozen, food rotten, and a ship on the brink of breaking. It's a blizzard. All notion of time and direction has been long lost. A never-ending tempest of snow surrounds the ships, blurring the limits between night and day, or sky and sea. Stalactites have imprisoned your sails, binding them to the masts and making them creak under the unexpected weight. Your crew fear they might break, but should anyone venture outside while violent winds whip the upper deck? Climb the mast and detach the frozen sails. Stay inside until and hope the supplies last. Protect the steamship in any way you can. Bonus chance 30% either way. Climb the mast and detach the frozen sails. I would say protect the steamship. Yeah, as long as we have steam power, we can always move a little bit at least.
Smash your fucking cutlass.
Their defense of the steamship is a little half-hearted. Initially, the men show willing, but the blizzard quickly wears them down, and they retreat inside claiming their work is done. After the worst of it is past, the officers survey the ship. Beneath a poorly affixed and feeble tarpaulin, the engine is found to have suffered damage, albeit fixable. One has to wonder if they are cut out for these kinds of challenges. Well, they didn't do a very good job. Now, this expedition's been going on a while. Hopefully, that's it, and we get the thing back soon.
Ship of the line reporting in.
Okay, well, I guess we'll just continue on trying to sort out the goods for different people. The next one will be light bulbs, I guess, before we could maybe move to the happiness things. So, light bulbs. I think light bulbs is actually fine, but we'll check it. So, light bulbs. I'm trying to think if that's used anywhere else. I don't think so. Maybe I'm wrong, but I don't think so. Do they use them in the Arctic? Let's just select King William Island. No. Tabarine? No. They have lanterns, of course, out there. Alright, so it's just an old world good. So light bulbs, there we are. Add on Lusk. 6 to 6, perfect supply and demand. So hopefully that's fine. That might be really, you know, cutting it very fine. With considering the time it takes to deliver, I think that means we're going to be running a little bit short. That's it's so close though. It makes me not want to get a whole you know, building just for it. It makes me just want to bring in just extra light bulbs just to offset the tiny bit we're behind on, which I think would probably make a bit more sense. Let's see, can we do that? So, are light bulbs something I can get, actually? I think they are. Ah, not until I have 27 contracts. Okay, well, looks like we're doing it the old-fashioned way. So, let's have a look. Light bulbs are there. 3 light bulb factories.
Do not mind the odd jet of steam.
So, we have a trade union here that could maybe benefit all of those buildings. And maybe we could just actually improve what we've already got instead of building a new one. That could be possible. So affects mines and... Okay, we don't need any of that. Let's have a look item-wise. I will just type light bulbs. Let's type light bulb factory, actually. Unknown. Wow, a lot. So obviously... It's actually everything that can affect it. So this just, for instance, reduces workforce. This increases productivity. It doesn't necessarily mean it's just for light bulbs. It just means it does work on that building. But yeah, an overall productivity thing would be nice. Generally speaking. So we have the subordinate, number 360, reducing workforce. Human incarnate, number 9. So if we wanted to get her, Angela Meg Ivor, the polyvalent, reducing workforce. What about this guy? Increases productivity of light bulb factories and a gramophone factory by 50%. And we also get extra pocket watches, glasses, penny farthings, sewing machines, and steam carriages. That's insane. So Professor Ram Devi, the bundle of energy. Do we know him? Apparently we don't. So how do we get him? Item source. An expedition, a rescue mission, a quest from engineers, technicians, etc. Visitors that might just arrive. Military rewards and research institute. So he's not the type of guy we can just get in terms of going to a trader, it seems. So that's a tough one. That would be amazing to get him, though. I kind of want to just hold out until we can get him. Go to the research. It's weird with the research institute the way you can make people. That would be in talent development, I guess. I guess within talent development, what is he? He's probably an industrial expert, I guess. I kind of want to just keep putting points into this and just max one category out. I don't know why I'm like that. Alright, let's do that, and then let's start getting some of these. I wish they could just let you do this like 5 times. Why do I have to click it every single time? I guess if you're really on the ball, you're constantly looking back over to it or something though, maybe? Right. I don't think we got him, but it'll tell me if I've identified him now anyway. Because we could just research him then.
This island is under siege.
Light bulbs. I don't think I've spent an episode so deep in menus before. There he is. Yeah, he's still unknown. Okay. Huh. Well, maybe we'll do a rescue mission expedition next and see if we can get him. Let's go over to Nate and see what can we make that just affects production buildings.
Bear skin, dog skin, cat skin.
So we can make productivity 35% if we get a Fortunate. Fortunate? Mark 3. Very fortunate indeed. We need... Oh, right. Yeah, I think we can do this. 20... Let me just write this down because I will forget. That's 20 of the nice scrap, not special scrap. So 20... Nice. 20 planks, obviously easy. 3 steam motors.
Alonso's good to follow at a distance.
And 10
all the leftovers.
carriage frames, I think it is, or whatever they're called. We can make a few of these, thinking about it. No reason not to. Maybe that combined with this would, you know, obviously reduce workforce. What does this do? Affects heavy weapons. All mountain mines. Oil wells. And that's kind of it. Okay, so there's not that many items in here to get. So yeah, we want to just basically make this then. Productivity of all production buildings. And see how many we can get. So it's all based on how much nice scrap we currently have, really. So let's check. It's a construction material, I think. Wow, we have 420. So no shortage of nice scrap. 420. Nice. Carriage frames might be hard to come by, though. What the hell? Where's the building for it? Oh, there it is. Chassis. Yeah. It's just made from wood and caoutchouc, which we've got lots of. Damn, again, this is another thing that we're going to need a bunch of. And how many people work this? 150 engineers. Just slammed them down there. So yeah, so basically, I'm going to have to make a note of that. Make chassis to get item. So I'll make that little note, and I've just made it now so that I can see that once we store up a few of these, which should be totally no problem. Once we store up a few of these, we can essentially make a few of those items, hopefully, quite easily. It's just about having those actual frames. And then I guess, yeah, what about steam motors? We should have plenty of those. Yeah, 500, no problem at all. So while the Daedalus is sitting here, well, it's not anymore. We'll have to send it back down. Get those steam motors. Oh, the expedition returned. I didn't even notice. After weeks of trials and tribulations, we've come home safe. We're after getting Perry's giant sunburst, which we have already. We don't have Mother-in-Law's tongue, which is a disgusting name. And then sheet music Anno 2205. Thematic exhibitions increase attractiveness by 30%. Increases attractiveness for cultural items that belong to the taiga forest, snowflakes, luminaries, northern sagas, subalpine, polar circle, and arctic tundra. I don't fully get that. Thematic exhibitions have an increased 30%. So we have an exhibition themed on something specifically? Aren't all exhibitions themed? Maybe you guys can let me know. I haven't seen this before. And then increased attractiveness for cultural items. So the items that we have belong to those categories will have an increased attractiveness as well. That's pretty nice. I didn't know they modify things like that. That's cool. Let's listen. I've never played that game, by the way. That's Mother's Tongue. Unfortunately, it doesn't have a unique area. This one we already have here. It's nice music. It's really good, actually. I've never actually looked up the composer. I feel a little bit bad that I never did, because I love the music in the game. Anno 2205. Oh, right, yeah, so it's obviously the space one. I wonder why it does things for Arctic. I thought it was the 2070 at first, because that one's kind of a bit more focused on the on cold biomes. Kind of want to hear it again. Awesome. Hope you guys enjoyed that. I just wanted to be quiet so you can hear the music. It's really good. There's some students walking around out here enjoying the parks. Let's go for a little walk, shall we? Just here at the end of the episode, just for the last couple of minutes. We should go off on a new expedition as well. It said level 2 rescue missions might, we might yield that guy if we manage to rescue him, I guess. I've been meaning to turn that to face the other way, actually. So that sad music you can hear, that's the music from 2070 that we already have. Let's take a look actually through... Oh, look at this. I haven't finished the road. It's good to spot that. Didn't make that mistake here, though. Love it. And we have our front house. They're like, Jesus Christ, what the hell? Nice. Alright, cool. It's a nice little fun walk. Let's do that expedition. Let's start it off, and then we'll probably end the episode. So, rescue mission. Let's go for it. Rescue mission.
Too many lie out there.
Assign a ship. We have the HMS Terror, which is already loaded up with everything we need. I'm not even gonna look. Let's go. Actually, some people said you should look for the people that have unique items. You might get a unique option. That'd certainly be fun for reading stuff, you know, that happens in the expedition. So let's just go with like all items. So for instance, this guy has the trait Hypnotist. Sir Charles Rafferty, Metropolitan Commissioner. And they're saying, yeah, that guy sounds awesome. A hypnotist. So the traits like hypnotist or diver, that only appears in expeditions, but it, you know, it depends on the expedition. Let's add him in there. Who knows?
An attack.
He might be super valuable. So force 55, diplomacy 25.
A competitor's
Leaning
island
even
is
more
under
heavily into
siege.
that stuff. So yeah, there's still 4 slots, lots of room for bits and pieces. Let's go. Nice. All right, cool. How are we doing now for population? So I guess actually one last thing we'll check is population over time. Residents over time. There we go. We can really see how it's been fluctuating a lot lately, you know. It's nice to see workers is always really stable as long as I have it actually upgraded. That's fine. Engineers, just a little bit of fluctuation going on. Scholars growing nicely. They were dipping when we were losing their goods. Artisans are very stable. And investors seem a little topsy-turvy as well. So I have to figure that out. If we have a look at something like the Arctic, that's what I like to see. That's what you're aiming for. King William Island, dead even. Everyone's doing great out there. Fort Worry, the glacier, totally fine there as well. We only have... Oh, sorry, that's not the right one. Hopefell, there we go. Only have technicians, 899 of them, loving life. Out of 900 though. Oh yeah, there's one house that's a little bit out of range of... I think the canteen or something like that. What about Tabarine? Fluctuated wildly when we took away their seafood stew, I think, and we haven't come back up to that number yet. That's a bit of a concern. I might check on that, actually. Well, the music is doing something weird.
They asked me to be the mother.
Oh,
of the
lanterns
spring
run out.
mass.
Never saw that coming.
No, I can't simply make do with. Tariku, show them around, will you?
They ran out of cotton. Or they don't have any cotton. Cotton, eh? New World to Arctic. Do we have that as a route? Or sorry, New World to Embesa. Embesa imports. What's your problem? Can't be loaded as the storage is empty. Uh-oh. Puerto Banús has run out of raw cotton.
What can I do for you?
And they're making some, but they just haven't made enough. Because I guess now we're actually... yeah, I'm not too sure why that would be. Let me just check one thing as well. Oh, I think I know why. I think the actual cotton reels, the cotton fabric, uses every bit of it. Yeah, we're underproducing for the amount of cotton we're even demanding, even on this island. So that's something I gotta fix. Now, I just noticed that it does say that we can have tractors here. So we might do that. We have a fuel station already in place here.
We're up to our eyebrows.
So it's just about paving the roads and then maybe extending it out here so that they can... yeah, make the most out of that. I think I'll have to do that. All right, well, at least that problem's solved. Or it should be solved. We've identified the problem, I guess. At least we've identified it. All right, that's going to be it for this episode. I don't want to drag it on by looking around at too many of those things. We've got a lot more work to do in the next episode. And as we grow our population, a lot more items, we can then start to think about where this redesign comes in. Once we've fully... Basically, all we have to do is just resupply everybody. And once the supply is stable again, then we do our designs. And that should be really fun. And I'll try to, obviously... link these places up a bit more, you know, they're just siloed into their different districts right now, but we'll try to link them up either with, even if it means just having like lovely parks and stuff in between, and hopefully in the not too distant future, move the clay pit as well.
May we see these shores again.
Alright, that's going to be it for this episode. Thank you guys very much for watching. I'm glad I wasn't offline for too long. Thank you for all the support, and I'll see you in the next one.
Hey guys, thank you very much for watching, and remember, if you want to support this series directly, you can click the join button to become a channel member. Doing so will get your name in the credits, as well as loyalty badges and emotes to use in the comments. If you don't see the join button, it means the video has been copyright claimed, but you can still join from the channel page on desktop. You can also link your account to our Discord to get a special role on there that will give you access to the Senate House and a few other perks.